Xikers recently came back with Route Zero, The Aura, and the title track OK caught our attention from the very beginning.
OK starts with the children's choir singing a very memorable phrase. This is supported by the instrumental, with the lead playing the melody. But hold on, this is not quite the same melody, is it? Instead, the simplified version skips over some notes. This way, the instrumental melody is more of a background element and doesn't take away attention from the vocals.
This melody is the main killing part the whole song is built around. We have discussed how utilizing pivot elements is the key to a great track, and this is exactly what OK does. This melody appears again and again in a few different ways and helps the song sound coherent while offering plenty of variation. But let's look at some of the specifics and go back to OK's intro.
The top line we hear in the intro is incredibly loopable, meaning our brains expect to hear it go on and on. However, after one repetition, the flow is broken up by Eugene, who then leads us into the intro chorus.
The chorus is very catchy, and we will explain why the top line is so good right away. However, first we want to point your attention to the synths, which play the melody from the intro. This way we get two clearly contrasting sections, however the pivot element ties it all together.
At the same time, the top line is chanty and contrasts what we heard in the intro. The structure is rather cool too. We start with a verbose phrase which ends on the downbeat with the title of the song. We then repeat the rhythm, but use the OK on the downbeat to flip the flow to a simple and effective question-answer pattern. Finally, we end with children-like voices delivering the very last line of the chorus. Not only is this super cool, but it is the exact opposite of what happened in the intro.
And speaking of the intro, there is quite a clear reference to it multiple times in the song.
The pre-chorus resets the energy after an intense first verse, but did you spot the real cool thing here? The melody we hear is very familiar. However, here the lines are delivered in Hunter's rather low voice, which is the exact opposite of the children's timbres that the song started with. This is yet another fantastic way of balancing repetition with contrast, and you know we love that on this channel.
But this is not all. We want to point your attention to the second verse, where we hear the motive with some changes in the background. Pretty cool, right?
And while the bridge offers a great amount of variation, the chorus returns right after in a new light.
We hear the familiar chorus top line and synth line, but the rest of the instrumentation is different and builds up for a final dance break. The way this chorus ends also differs on the top line, supporting the build-up.
The dance break is full of energy and still features the key synth line, this time with a new rhythm. The pulsing effect we hear is achieved with what we call sidechain. Do let us know if you want us to get more technical and explain this in a future video. At the end, we return to the second half of the chorus, tying everything together with an explosive finale.
OK uses a catchy melody as a pivot element which ties the incredibly dynamic song together. Xikers adapt the melody and make it fit perfectly into the context of each section without it being too distracting. This pivot element appears in the intro and the pre-chorus as part of the lead top line, as background vocals in the second verse, and in the form of a synth melody in the chorus and the dance break. Combined with an intense chorus and a varied verse topline, OK truly takes us on a very fun journey.
But what is your favorite song off of Route Zero, The Aura? And what song should we break down next? Let us know in the comments below.
As usual, huge thanks to our coffee supporters for keeping the channel going. In times like this, where we're constantly surrounded by AI slop, your support is more important than ever. And if you want to become a coffee supporter yourself and claim benefits such as the access to our library of instrumentals for top-line practice, please check out the link in the description. And if you haven't already, please also take a look at our newsletter, where we share tips and tricks about production and songwriting regularly, completely written without AI. And if you want to learn more about music production and songwriting right now, please check out this video right here.